Welcome to another episode of the PoWash Podcast, recorded on location at Point Washington UMC in Santa Rosa Beach, Florida. Here are your hosts, Cole Moore and Ryland Nunn.
I mean, I know it's a little off key, but our new jingle is the bomb. We have a special surprise for you today as well. On this Monday, we have our next interview, and our next interview is the very person who came with that jingle, but we will introduce that shortly. You already know who we are because my man already told you, but I'm Cole. I'm Cole Nunn, and that is
Ryland Moore.
There you have it, folks. Welcome to another edition of PoWash Weekly. I am so excited about our interviewing. Reverend Amy was just amazing last week. That was awesome having her on, and I'm excited about today's guest as well. Last week, y'all, we did some stuff.
We did.
We had an in-person Sunday school.
Woo.
We watched church together.
We sure did.
We did.
Great.
We did. We watched it together. We had 10-minute talks with Paul last Wednesday.
Always fun.
That was a great time. And we enjoyed doing those 10-minute catch-up talks with you. And we even had a game night on Saturday night.
It was a busy week.
So much stuff for you guys. You can never say we don't try. Because we do.
Try.
We try.
We try.
We have podcasts. We have
Sunday school.
We have game night.
Game night.
We have in-person events.
Sometimes.
We have Zooms.
Yes.
We Zoom.
Yeah.
We Zoom a lot.
We do.
We Zoom some more.
Occasionally.
I'll tell you what, though. I am thrilled. Well, I don't want to take this. I want my man Ryland to tell y'all what you're about to see on the screen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you are about to see an interview with Cole and none other than Scooter Ward.
Enjoy. Here we are, our second interview. It is Scooter Ward from Community Church, and we are so thrilled to have him in. Actually, if you've been listening to our little jingle, that was produced and created and all that by Mr. Scooter Ward. So we're very thankful for him and excited to have him on. Scooter, how's it going, man?
Man, doing great. So glad to be here, Cole, and so excited to be on your podcast. I've been watching all the episodes, so I didn't know if you guys would be throwing me any curveballs today. So
we might be. You never know.
Yeah, Pastor Amy, she set the bar high, so you know.
She did.
So I gotta follow that.
I know. We gave you the toughest week to go after her. Scooter, tell us a bit about yourself. So give the people the insight of who Scooter Ward is.
Well, I got a little fun here we're going to do with your youth group. I think this will be really cool. I've been thinking about this a lot.
Okay.
No, a lot of people know my real name. Scooter is a nickname.
Okay.
Well, my name's Scooter Ward. I am a native Floridian. I was born in Tallahassee, Florida in 1978, and I went to Florida State Music School. I'm giving you the Reader's Digest version, but basically, I decided that I didn't want to work at McDonald's. You know, I could sing, but, you know, musicians unless you teach. And I've known since high school that I was called to ministry. So I ended up switching to a Bible college and got my BA in theology and was going to go to seminary when 9/11 happened. And that was kind of a really defining moment for me. Felt like that was God's way of changing direction. So I decided to join the Air Force. I got commissioned as an officer in the United States Air Force and flew on an airplane called the AWACS, which is a lot of people call it the AWACS, but it's actually an E-3 Sentry. But it's basically command and control. And all through that military training, it's all been kind of getting me ready for ministry. And I did 10 years on active duty and really felt like the Lord opened the door for me to leave the military. And then I entered into vocational ministry and started going to seminary while I was in the military. And then eventually, here we are. So
there you go.
And so I had a non-traditional path in ministry, but it was really cool. I enjoyed my time in the military and made a lot of great friends, traveled a lot of places, and Love, got married to my wife. We'll be married 18 years. Her name is Amy Ward. She's a beautiful redhead, which, by the way, my youth pastor told me in high school to start praying for my future wife. And, I prayed the standard stuff, that she loves God, that she's, Christian, all that. And then finally I started getting specific, because he said, if you have not because you ask not. So I asked for redhead and freckles, and man, I got it.
There you go.
To the redhead and freckles.
Well, I'm going to take that advice because I'm going to go home and start praying tonight. All right?
Yeah, be specific. You have not because you ask not. And the Lord may just surprise you. He can do above and beyond anything that we ask or think.
That is true.
So
that is true.
Yeah.
Well, good deal, Scooter. We certainly thank you for your service. That's an interesting pathway to ministry, as you said, which leads us to our next question, which I really was excited about asking you this because you've been in the military for 20 plus years, right? You had to have visited some really cool spots. Some really, really cool spots. What's the coolest place by far you've ever been to?
Okay, literally the coolest place was probably Dubai. We had a base-sponsored trip there. We were flying out of Abu Dhabi, and we had a base-sponsored trip up to Dubai, which is all part of United Arab Emirates. And we had heard about this mall and different places in the mall there. They had a ski resort. It's unreal because you're in the middle of the desert and there's a black diamond and a bunny slope inside this mall. But one of the cool places I went to was the Chill Lounge, and it actually had everything in the lounge made out of ice. Furniture, furnishings, even the cups. They give you a cup. You put on a parka when you go in there, and they serve you a juice or a drink of some sort of cold drink, and it's just really cool. Literally. So I would say that was probably it. And then cool in the temperature wise, but I'd say cool. The other cool thing is me and my wife had the opportunity to go to DC. I got stationed with the Army there for 4 or 5 months, and we saw all the monuments. We saw all the cool stuff there. So I think if you've never went to DC, it's really a cool place to check out. There's a lot of great history there. I think my favorite place was Mount Vernon, George Washington's home. And just some neat stuff there. So I think that was probably the actual cool in the sense of the word, probably DC.
Certainly. And funny enough, I got a bunch of family from up north, and when I was younger, we got the opportunity to go to DC and do the whole tour thing. And I cannot wait to do it again as an adult, because as a kid, I enjoyed it, but we were on the trams all day, just going from site to site, and it was hot, I was sleeping, I was miserable. But it's really cool when you're able to take it all in and stuff like that. And
it was really cool. And the cool thing is, my mom and dad got to come out. We had some time to go and see some of the monuments and the historical things. And I think one of the funnest things, I was a big Braves fan at the time, and so we would go watch the baseball games at RFK, and we blew all our per diem one day. We went down there and we got seats right behind the dugout. I mean, it was just awesome. So
there you go. That's a good time. Scooter, quick question. We got to know, what's your favorite movie?
Hands down, it has been in the number one for all of my life. Back to the Future. Okay, so you're a DeLorean guy. You like the DeLorean? I love Back to the Future. Anything Back to the Future. My 40th birthday party was Back to the Future. My sister and my wife put it together. It was awesome.
So were you happy that the Cubs won the World Series then?
Yes, I was.
I'm an Indians fan.
Oh man.
So
yeah,
that's a little sore subject for me.
It is.
But that's all right. That's all right. We were up 3-1 and we blew it. But
well, neat story.
Can't win them all.
Neat story about the Cubs. I was in high school with David Ross. David Ross and I played baseball together. He used to play with the Red Sox, won the World Series, and now he's managing the Cubs. He won the World Series with the Cubs, and go Cubs go. I'm a Cubs fan now because of David.
Fly the W.
Yeah, man.
There you go. There you go. That's cool stuff. Well, something we like to do with our guest, Scooter, is we like to give the opportunity for our guests to kind of leave our viewers with whether it's students or whoever is watching us, kind of leave them with something that's just out of the box. Maybe something that holds weight, maybe something just completely funny that they'll think of for the rest of their lives. We like to give them something to think about. And so, Scooter, what is something for our guests? You're our guest. What is something for our viewers to think about as they go on this week?
I would think, and this kind of piggybacks off what Pastor Amy said last Monday, and that is the hard times that we face. We're in a hard time right now, and it's anxious. We have things on the inside that make us anxious as we think about our situations and as we look out. And there are two scriptures that are really important and have been really crucial for me, both when I was in high school, in college, and even in the military. And it's Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. It says, trust in the Lord with all your heart and don't lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him and he will direct your path. And so what that scripture says from a practical standpoint is you lean on your own understanding, you're not going to be able to understand it. And sometimes you just have to trust the Lord with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And there comes a point where you go, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I don't understand how I'm going to get through this. And that's where that promise from Philippians comes in to answer that. And that says that if we stop being anxious, but in everything with prayer, petition, and thanksgiving, let our requests be made known to God, that then that his peace that passes all understanding will guard our heart and mind. And I think on that side, you go from, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, to I don't understand, well, I'm not worried about it anymore. And I think God's always faithful to his promise. And that's been something that's been a real anchor for me. And I hope for you all that are watching, that's something that you can latch onto and know that God will be faithful. In all this change, he doesn't change. His promise doesn't change. And so lean into that, lean into him. And you may find, as the Kinnaman says from Barna, that faith can grow, especially in unsettled times.
That's so good. That's so good stuff, and it's so good that was on your heart today, because for me right now, and I kind of talked about it last week, for me right now, I'm kind of in a time of transition, and I have noticed the hard way that when you don't just put your center around Christ, because Christ never changes. He's always there for you. Right. And when you put your center around things that do change, it does get tough, and life gets tough. But you remind yourself to go, to put your hope and your trust and to center your life around Christ. And really, when you do that, that's when you're at the peak. Because bad stuff, good stuff, just whatever stuff, nothing affects it, because your center is Christ. Yeah. And so that's how when we look at the Bible, we see building our house on the rock, and that is exactly what it's all about. And so that's huge for them to take and for me to take as well. So thanks, Scooter, so much. Thanks for sharing that.
You bet. Thanks for having me. Thanks to Paul and we have a great relationship among our churches here with the Ministry Association, and just so thankful that we have a kingdom mindset and love what God's doing through your ministry here, and we celebrate that. So.
Yeah, it's so important to see churches come together and work together, because
Amen,
that's
we got
what
an
the
eternity to spend together.
That's right. That's what the message is all about. So, Scooter, we're so thrilled to have you on. Thank you for coming on. Remember, our jingle is because of him. So when you're grooving at the beginning, that's because of Scooter Ward. Scooter, hopefully we'll have you on a future episode, bring you back in, and ask you some more questions.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate y'all. God bless you.
Take care, Scooter. What a tremendous interview that was with Scooter Ward. That is the guy behind the jingle. That's the guy. I don't know why I did a John Cena thing. I'm a wrestling fan. Join us on, join us on that. I don't know. I was going to say join us for SummerSlam, but that's anyways. Wow, what a great time with Scooter Ward. And just such a good thought at the end there. Just to kind of go off of what Reverend Amy said, and then now Scooter, it really is important, y'all, to center your life around Christ and use him as that anchor in your life, all right? I read this book a while ago, and it talked about how it was written by Judah Smith, and it talked about how if you're in a boat and there's storms raging around you and you're anchored down, Jesus ain't going to come and just bring you and take you away. He's going to come and he's going to sit on that boat with you. I know it's cheesy, but he's going to come and he's going to sit on that boat with you. Don't laugh. He's going to sit on that boat with you, and he's going to stick with you through it. Ryan, tell us what's going on this week.
So this week, we got a little bit of an off week.
That was a trick question.
Yeah, before we get into our fall schedule.
Boom, there it is.
But what we always have
is
Sunday school in person.
In person.
Yeah.
Remember, you got to wear those
masks
properly. Don't hang them off the side. Be here. In-person Sunday school. We're doing it every Sunday, whether we have a service in person or not. If we don't have an in-person service, it's going to be at 9 o'clock, and we're going to watch the 10 o'clock one on the TV for those of you who stay. And the other way around, we'll go to the 8:30 in person, then we'll do Sunday school at 10. So join us for those things. We're excited. We are super excited about this podcast, and we are super excited about being Paul and I are super excited about being your ministers, and yeah, we're just excited.
I'm excited to be
here.
We're
excited.
Everybody's excited.
Exciting.
Word of the day.
We'll see you Friday.
See you.
Goodbye.